Emily in Paris was a strong performer for Netflix in the viewership department, breaking into the list of the top 10 most watched streaming shows for the week after its premiere. To put its performance into context, it placed above the likes of Grey's Anatomy and Criminal Minds for that particular week. So, what's next? Here's everything we know, including possible Season 2 plotlines. Renewed or canceled? Emily in Paris follows Emily, an ambitious 20-something marketing executive from Chicago, who unexpectedly lands a job in Paris when her company acquires a French luxury marketing company. She's tasked with revamping their social media strategy and embarks on a new life in Paris filled with adventures and challenges, as she juggles winning over her work colleagues, making friends, and navigating new romances. So, good news! Netflix has renewed the wildly popular romantic comedy series for a second season. News of the renewal was announced via a tongue-in-cheek fictional letter from Emily's snooty Parisian boss, Paris Sylvie Gretteau, to her American boss, Madeline Wheeler, which regrettably informed the latter that Emily will be staying in Paris for an extended period of time. Oh, in case you missed the letter, it read, "Nous sommes désolés. We are writing to regrettably inform you that Emily Cooper will need to remain in Paris for an extended period of time. Despite her overconfident manner and lack of prior experience in luxury goods marketing, she has nonetheless managed to charm some of our hard-to-impress clients during her short time at Savoie. Call it bonne chance or American ingenuity. I'm leaning towards the former. Her results are impressive. We hope that by extending her time in Paris, Emily will further the relationships she has already made, delve deeper into our culture, and perhaps pick up a few words of basic French. We will work in conjunction with you on applying for a work permit on her behalf to prolong her time here. We love having Emily in Paris, but please don't let her know that." Netflix US also uploaded a short video where several cast members hold objects in the quantity of 2 and say the word deux, which translates to 2 in French. The video is followed by the text, "Deux is always better than un," and then an announcement appears, Emily in Paris will return for Season 2. Where we left off? While Emily's professional life in Paris hasn't been exactly a walk in the park in Emily in Paris Season 1, it's still been an easier journey than her personal one. After her boyfriend in Chicago haphazardly breaks up with her because he supposedly cannot do long-distance relationships, Emily finds herself dating and having intimate relationships with a few Frenchmen. There's no doubt that we'll be seeing more of Emily as she tries to balance her brand new life in Paris with all the craziness. Not only does she have a lot of work to do to prove to Sylvie that she has what it takes to work there, but her relationship with Matteau might also make things a bit complicated. Then there's, of course, Gabriel. During the first few episodes of the show, the pair were growing closer, with Emily even kissing him in his restaurant. However, she soon found out that he actually had a girlfriend called Camille, which put their romantic relationship to bed. After Camille and Gabriel broke up, Emily and Gabriel ended up sharing a night of passion together in the season finale. Gabriel or Mathieu? Season 1's major cliffhanger left fans wondering which guy she would pick, Gabriel or Mathieu. While responding to questions about the situation, creator Darren Star said, "Emily's going to have a lot of complicated choices with a lot of the men in her life, certainly with Gabriel, who's been the primary relationship, but also her primary relationship is also with Camille, who she became good friends with. And I think Emily's the kind of girl that would never want to betray a friend. So I think it's given Emily a real moral dilemma. We haven't really seen the potential of Emily and Matthew's relationship yet. I think Emily is going to have some surprising choices to make next season." He also noted that Gabriel's new deal with Antoine might cause some trouble between him and everyone else, saying, "I think that Antoine is an untrustworthy guy, and his motives, I don't trust him. I think it's a dangerous combination working with Gabriel." Gabriel and Emily. At the end of the season, Antoine revealed that he purchased the restaurant for Gabriel so he can stay in Paris. That made the awkward situation even worse, considering Emily had just slept with Gabriel. To make things even crazier, Camille sent a text to Emily with the good news followed by a "can we talk" message. Given the tone of her message, chances are that Camille is still unaware of what's going on between Emily and Gabriel. And viewers were left wondering if Emily will volunteer the information or not. Camille will more likely find out about Emily's biggest secret in Season 2, but what's going to be critical here is how she learns about it. The revelation will definitely be dramatic when Camille finds out that her American friend has been deceiving her for a long time. Remember, Emily and Gabriel kissed twice before, and the second time, she knew that he was in a relationship. Camille's been portrayed as kind and nice, but depending on how this whole situation pans out, we're thinking she will be the exact opposite of her portrayal in Season 1. Gabriel and Camille. Speaking of Gabriel and Camille, where does that relationship stand? Emily in Paris Season 1 didn't really explore much about their relationship as the story was told from Emily's perspective, but it's clear that Camille genuinely cares for her boyfriend. She even defended him to her mom, who was not thrilled that Gabriel won't take money from them for his business. Well, Lucas Bravo talked about it in an interview with Collider and said, "I think in his mind, yes, I think he's broken up with Camille. They've been fighting a lot lately, and he feels very emasculated by the fact that her family wants to help him, and he always wanted to be that self-made chef, and he's been feeling so little for so long that now that they have broken up, I don't think he wants to get back to that, or at least they deserve to have a conversation about it. I think he's really drawn to Emily and all the opportunities that are coming with her. We hope that in season 2, Gabriel will give Camille an explanation because she really didn't deserve to be treated like that. You'd think Emily would fess up to this the second she realizes Camille and Gabriel's connection. But nope. Emily and Gabriel continue flirting behind sweet, wonderful Camille's back. The situation gets really frustrating when Camille drives Emily and Gabriel out to her family's estate for a few days. Emily sits on Gabriel's lap during the car ride, and they continue their annoying banter the whole weekend at Camille's family's house. What about Emily and Camille? Lucas Bravo got the Emily in Paris fandom talking when he theorized that perhaps there's something between Emily and Camille. He said, when Camille kisses Emily on the mouth, she's like, "Oh, I'm not sorry." And then when Emily and Camille are in bed, and I'm liking the picture, it's all little seeds. Anything could happen between the three of them. I think Darren wants this second season to be really open-minded. He wants to explore different things and make it realistic of what the world is now. Could the show explore this relationship further? We just have to wait and see. Of course, that can only be explored after they bury the hatchet. In an interview with Vogue UK, Lily Collins added, "There are tons of little moments where you're like, does Camille like Emily? You can't really get a vibe, and I feel like that ambiguity is what keeps Emily intrigued. That very much feels like a hint that Emily and Camille could hook up, right?" The ironic thing is that fans of the show are already begging for that exact thing. When speaking to Collider, actress Camille Razat shared that her character Camille will probably be more upset with Emily than Gabriel once she discovers their affair because she was so nice to her, and she just welcomed her. And in that matter, she thinks Camille will be mad for a little amount of time, but she really loves Emily. Well, there's a chance that the show could also go full-blown polyamorous. HBO Max's Trigonometry is a rom-com about a throuple, and Netflix's The Politician has also included polyamory storylines as well. Not forgetting You, Me, Her, another Netflix hit all about polyamory. Considering Emily's growing comfort level with trying new things, this could make a potential second season a whole different world of fun. How old is Emily? Apart from the love arcs, one thing that has been bothering fans is Emily's real age. Emily is clearly accomplished and very good at her job. Her American office sent her to Paris to improve the French office's social media presence, and when her colleagues actually let her do her job, she kills it. On the other hand, she reminds us of someone who is possibly fresh out of college with all the awkward conversations. When British Vogue asked Collins Emily's age, she guessed 22, which is very confusing. Emily constantly brings up the fact that she has a master's degree, so we were confused that she could be 22, which is the age most people are when they graduate with a bachelor's degree. While no one can argue with Emily's brains, ambition, and can-do attitude, the reality of her position doesn't exactly match her supposed age, and the internet has wasted no time calling that out. Lucas Bravo told E! that he had his own theory on the age issue. He said, "I would say she's probably 24. Something happens after 26 where women start exploring in terms of personality. I feel like she's still very strong-willed and she has certainties, but yeah, I would say that she's around 24. The good news is that Emily will grow up a bit in Season 2. Darren Star said Emily will be more settled into life in Paris than she is now. In Season 2, she's going to be more of a part of the fabric of the world she's living in. She'll be more of a resident of the city. She'll have her feet on the ground a little more. She's making a life there. Well, that means that she will be a little less of an embarrassment to Americans." Whew! Less or more French cliches? Name any cliche about France in the French and you'll find it in Emily in Paris. The berets, the croissants, the baguettes, the hostile waiters, the irascible concierges, the inveterate philanderers, the lovers and mistresses, dream apartment with a view over a leafy square, drinks, parties, and designer outfits, roses, handsome Frenchmen who kiss your hand. It's literally all there, in every episode. While in France, Emily discovers that the French are all mean and all lazy and never arrive at the office before late morning, and that they are incorrigible flirts with no concept of being faithful. The show reduces the capital's inhabitants to vile snobs sporting Birkin handbags who light up a cigarette the minute they're out of the gym. Apparently, the French are also backward and sexist. Well, French critics have not taken kindly to Emily in Paris. The showrunners are aware of the criticism, and Season 2 could either scale down on the cliches or continue the trend. In one of the latest interviews, series creator Darren Star gave us a big hint about what will happen in Season 2. In an interview with Entertainment Tonight, he said, "I think Emily and Gabriel had a really wonderful moment together, but what's the intention? That the idea that Gabriel thinking this was a farewell, but I don't think Gabriel would have split up with his girlfriend if he wasn't moving away. There's no way Emily would have been with Gabriel thinking that he was still with Camille, so I think that the question is, where does it go from here? Where Emily is with Gabriel is really unexpected. She's left at a very unexpected place. I think that Emily and Matthew's relationship is something that's right now. As far as he's concerned, he's committed to full steam ahead." Star also revealed Mindy and Emily will most likely be roommates in Season 2, and he would love to see Kate Walsh's character in Paris too. Release date. Since it was just renewed, Emily in Paris won't be starting to film for a little while. Another important thing to remember is that the show actually films in Paris. In late October, French President Emmanuel Macron announced a second national lockdown until at least the end of November. With the COVID-19 pandemic causing some delays in production, they will hopefully start filming next year. So, did you love Emily in Paris? What do you expect in Season 2? Sound off in the comments section below. This has been Riveted.